Hey, this is really interesting. We've been following this. We can call it a hypocrisy. We can call it a double standard. We can call it a contrast between the things said on Fox News about vaccine mandates and requirements and the policies of Fox News as a company. Now, most famously, Joe Biden said, hey, we need mandatory vaccine or test every week. Fox News has done something even stricter, and Fox News says mandatory vaccine or test every day and wear masks around others if you're not vaccinated. And of course, people like Tucker Carlson and the Fox and Friends people and Jesse Waters have just said, we don't have a mandate here. It's either not true. Fox and Friends said it's a protocol, not a mandate, etc. Okay, we now have leaked information from Fox News's health and safety department as to the requirements for their upcoming annual meeting. This is just amazing, okay? 2021 Fox annual meeting of stockholders, health and safety protocols. Look at the rules. Look at how strict this is. First of all, if you have symptoms of COVID, you got to stay home. Okay, fine. They make that clear. Health screening. The designated stockholder entrance is at particular address. Okay. Prior to admittance, you have to show your ticket to security and you've got to participate in a health screening. The health screening will have the following components. Stockholders will be asked to complete an in-person symptom screening and receive a negative test result and present verification that they are vaccinated. Just to go to the stockholder meeting, you got to bring proof of vaccine or acceptable proof of a negative COVID test from 24 hours prior, from within 24 hours of going to the Fox studio lot. This is much stricter than the US guidelines for coming back to the US, which say the test can be from 72 hours before. Fox says 24 hours, stricter. And or you have to disclose your vaccination status. Are any of them going to say our own company is violating HIPAA, which it's not, of course. If during the course of the health screening process, a stockholder doesn't provide verification that they are fully vaccinated or proof of a negative test, they will not be permitted entry and will not be able to attend, period. Following the health screening, stockholders will be directed to the designated lot. Okay, now look at this. On the Fox studio lot, face coverings, all stockholders must wear facial coverings while inside buildings at all times, period, on the Fox studio lot. If you do not have a facial covering, a Fox representative will provide a mask for you at no cost. Hand sanitizing. Okay, they'll have hand sanitizer. Social distancing. Facial coverings do not replace the need for physical distancing. Maintain 6 feet from others when possible. Observe social distancing directives, etc. At the annual meeting, stockholders should sit in the designated seats and wear face coverings at all times. Breaks can be taken outside in the designated area. Okay, so Fox News, for their annual meeting, has a COVID health screening for everybody. You either must be vaccinated or have a test within 24 hours, and you've got to wear a mask the entire time. And they're saying Biden's rules are authoritarian. Now, of course, the people saying that on air are not the people making these decisions. But look at that contrast. And I think these Fox hosts who continue to do this stuff and say these things, they need to continually be confronted with this. When Tucker was confronted with it, he played stupid. First, he said, I don't speak for Fox. And of course, well, you could just speak as an employee. You don't have to speak as the people who came up with the guidelines. You can just speak as someone who's subject to them. And then he said, you know, you can't force people to disclose their HIV status. And it's like, well, no, that's different than saying whether you are vaccinated. Saying whether you have a disease is different. Also, HIV is not contagious. And it went completely off the rails. It was a really great exposition of how they have no leg to stand on. It needs to keep happening. This is amazing that Fox is doing this. I agree with all of it. I mean, listen, you got a big stockholder meeting. You don't want it to be a super spreader event. It's eminently reasonable that this is what they are doing. So check out the full document. It's only like a page and a half, 2 pages for yourself. Fox COVID guidelines for their annual shareholder meeting.